Hey friends, Mr. Producer here, and I wanted to let you know that registration for the Equip Expo 2022 is officially open. Brian has partnered with Equip to help save you 50%. That's right, not 10%, but 50% off registration. Now, if you want to support Brian and all of the amazing, helpful content that he puts out, this is a great way to do it. We'll be sharing more details as they come down the pike, but we can't wait to see you at the biggest green industry trade show of the year right there in Louisville, Kentucky, October the 19th through the 21st. Don't forget to register today with the link that's in the show notes and use the promo code BRIAN. That's BRIAN.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no-nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here, hanging with you guys. And today, super excited about the guest that we have joining us on the line. If you guys like talking all things hardscaping and outdoor lighting, I think you guys are really going to enjoy the show. I've actually been low-key, been trying to lock this one down for months on end. And you know what? The calendar finally worked out. The stars aligned. We got him. We've got none other than Kyle McKelvy joining us with Oregon Outdoor Lighting. So, Kyle, welcome to the show, brother. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
Just to start, so we actually don't do hardscaping. We just do outdoor lighting.
Oh, okay. You know, that was going to be one of my questions because I see these beautiful hardscapes and I'm like, I wonder if they do it all or just the lighting. But man, you're already answering all my questions here as we go through. No, I'm out of questions, brothers. No, so
no, it's all good.
Well, I'll tell you guys straight up. There's a couple Instagram accounts that I love, I follow, I get inspiration from. I'm always saving photos from, and you guys might have heard me talk about Oregon Outdoor Lighting before. We actually did a podcast episode last November with Dylan Stevenson, and we started talking about lighting, and I was like, dude, you've got to check out this Instagram page. And if you guys are outdoor lighting aficionados or advocates or just fans like I am, I think there's nothing more beautiful than an outdoor landscape and hardscaping and living space. You've got to check out these guys' Instagram page and their business. And I'm not just saying that. I'm telling you straight up, some of the most beautiful photos and design and work that I've ever seen. So I'm really glad to have you on the show, Kyle. This is like a personal, selfish favorite. I'm going to milk it for what it is. All right. So let's do this really quick. Before we go down the rabbit hole, you're a new guest to the show. A lot of folks maybe don't know you just yet. So why don't you get these guys up to speed? We call it the highlight reel on my podcast, where maybe give like a 2 or 3 minute kind of update about who you guys are, you know, where you're from, what you got going on, and what you guys do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you mentioned, we got Oregon Outdoor Lighting, which is our company. It's based out of Portland, Oregon. So we serve the Portland, Vancouver, Washington metropolitan area. And that's our specialty is outdoor lighting. And it's actually one of our business philosophies. We just believe in doing one thing and being the best at it. So that's what we try to do. So all we do is outdoor lighting. Our company was started in 2008. So right after high school, I joined the Air Force. And part of that was being stationed in Tampa, Florida. And that's where I met the manufacturer that we work with. So I was able to learn the outdoor lighting business on the side of my Air Force career. And then when I got out of the Air Force, we're one of those stories to where it was me and my wife. We had $3,000 in the bank and we had a van, and I had saved up like 45 days of leave. So when I got out of the Air Force, it was like 45 days. And pay was gone, insurance was gone, everything was gone. So it was like sink or swim, figure it out. So
wow.
Moved back home to Oregon and just started banging on doors and talking to people. So we literally had some hand tools, a van, and catalogs, and started banging on doors. And that's like the genesis, the start of Oregon Outdoor Lighting. So
wow.
Fast forward to 2008 to now. Obviously a lot of lessons learned, a lot we can unpack, but we now have we have 16, 17 guys here. We're fortunate enough to have some like internal marketing coordinator, which is awesome. And then we also, so that's the company me and my wife started in 2008. And then we also are, that's kind of our first, like, I wouldn't call it a spinoff, but our next like location. We also own Washington Outdoor Lighting, which is based out of Bellevue, Washington, and that's a partnership with me and my wife and my brother-in-law. So
okay,
that's kind of the quick overview.
Yeah,
but, that's how we started, and again, a lot of stuff in between there.
I love it. Well, thanks for the update and letting you guys give the lay of the land. We always appreciate context on our show. I've got a slew of questions here, so we're going to just jump right into it because you're over on the other side of the country. We're coordinating times and calendars. I actually missed a phone call with you because I was on baby duty, and it's just wild when you have kids. You have 3 kids. You're a family man, so I've really learned to respect people's calendars. So I super apologize for missing our first appointment. But you're like, hey, are we supposed to talk today? And I'm like, oh my god, and then it's like somebody that you are beyond excited to get on the show. So I'm like, man, I hope I didn't mess this one up. So
it's all good.
We appreciate your grace, but I make mistakes too. But here's what I want to do really quick. We're going to hear from today's show sponsors and show announcements, and then I've got a laundry list of questions. They're all fun. They're all upbeat with hardscaping, upsell process, how you got started, visuals, demos. There's so many questions that I have personally about lighting that I think I'm going to enjoy, and then everybody else listening into the show is going to enjoy as well. So, guys, let's do this really quick. We're going to take a quick break, take a sip of water, and then we're going to kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer. Here's from today's show sponsors, show announcements, and then we're going to hear a little bit more from Kyle with Oregon Outdoor Living.
Ever wonder how to get the best-looking lawn on the block? You know, the kind where all the neighbors drive by slowly and stare at your well-manicured masterpiece thinking you must be a turf wizard? Yeah, we thought so. At Earthway Products, we have your back with all the right lawn and garden tools that allow you to dominate and win the prize of best-looking lawn on the block. We have all types of spreaders that are professional grade, built for accuracy, efficiency, and toughness. Simply said, Earthway products are engineered to last, and we have over 50 patents to prove it. That's our way of saying you can have confidence that our products will get the job done and make your life easier. We also have a fertilizer program that will help you grow a lawn greenskeepers will envy. So whether you're a homeowner, lawn care operator, facilities manager, business owner, or golf course superintendent, Earthway is here to help you make a perfect first impression. Stop by earthway.com and experience the difference. That's earthway.com. Proudly American made in America's heartland, Bristol, Indiana.
All right, guys. Well, let's jump right back into it. We're not going to waste any time here. Like I was saying, we got Kyle joining us from Oregon Outdoor Lighting. And Kyle, here's what I want to do. I want to take it all the way back to the beginning. Why did you choose lighting when you were in the Navy, I think it was, or the Air Force? Why did you choose lighting when you guys were down there? Was it just like a side hustle you could do nights and weekends, or how did you even meet that vendor that you were talking about?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, while we were down in Tampa, my wife started nannying for a really great family, and just through that process, I got introduced to them. I would go over there, say on like the weekends or whatever. And really, I guess the best way to answer it is like ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to own my own business. Growing up, we were doing side jobs for people and bucking hay and doing small tasks and always like looking for something to do. Mm-hmm. And actually, my first company I ever technically did was a Christmas light company when I was in high school. So I got my license and I put an ad in the paper to put up Christmas lights. So that was the first kind of entrepreneurial thing I did.
Sure.
But ever since I was a kid, I wanted to own a business. And the reason we landed in lighting, the connection was my wife was nannying for this family. And the owner of the company, he was really like the first person who like looked at me and was like, hey, if you want to do this, you can do it. Like, no questions asked, just full confidence. And I received that, took that and ran with it. So that's why lighting. So as a kid, I always wanted to own a business, didn't have like a specific business, but just that, somebody really like believing in you 100%, like no ifs, ands or buts. That's why we ended up doing lighting.
Yeah, well, help me out a little bit. Maybe give these guys like what you guys do for a typical client. Like we're talking lighting, people are thinking, a lot of guys listening in, they're hardscapers, landscapers, lawn care guys. They know that you're not buying the little $20 lights from Home Depot and lining the driveway, right? we all weed whap around those, and they don't last more than a season, right? So
Right.
that's not what you guys are doing. You guys are doing like beautiful lighting install. So walk me through like a typical job or customer or client. What do you guys focus on? What is Oregon Outdoor Lighting known for?
The biggest thing we're known for is full transformation, and that's our philosophy. So when we approach a project, we're looking for that transform the space that the people live in. So because when you go into a project, let's say somebody calls us, we go to their property. It's not just like put lights, it's not just like, hey, throw some lights up so it's, not dark anymore. It's what can we create to allow them to create more memories with their family, to allow them to use the space, for them to feel safer, for them to like, what is that real like transformation piece that makes their property different after our design than before our design.
Absolutely. Well, so that's like taking, I love what you said there. We're not just like making, areas lighter that are dark. You're adding like mood and ambiance and creating emotion in those landscapes. I mean, I'm telling you guys what, visuals, what do they say? Like a photo's worth 1,000 words, or says 1,000 words. Like if you see their Instagram page, you'll know what I'm talking about. Bar none, best lighting Instagram page I've seen. And I'm not just saying that. I've saved, I literally like show Liz all the time, like, look at these lights. This is exactly how I want our back patio in our house. So I personally plan to spend a ton of money on our dream patio with lighting, up lighting, down lighting from the house. It's, and the reason I say that, Cal, is I'm a big like dream building kind of a guy. And something that frustrates me personally is I'll go through these subdivisions, and over here in Metro Detroit, a lot of them are $500,000, $700,000, beautiful homes. And occasionally you'll find like the couple $1 million homes peppered around. But the one thing that frustrates me, and maybe, I don't know if you guys listening in can relate, but I get frustrated when I drive by during the evening and I'm like trying to dream build or look at people's homes, and I'm just a big homebody and everything's dark. Like you got this $1 million home, beautiful property, beautiful landscaping, but you can't see it. And it's like, I can't tell you how many subdivisions I go in around me where it's the most dark, gloomy, like no porch lights, no garage lights, no lighting anywhere. And I'm just like, who would want to live in this subdivision after about 8 o'clock at night,
Yeah, 100%.
So personally, that's why I'm a big fan of lighting, and I keep telling Liz, I'm like, I can't wait to light up our home like a Christmas tree. It's gonna be wild. So let me ask you guys this: when you said you don't do any hardscaping, you guys do like light transformations. How do you know where to do them, what to do? Do you guys work with like the previous landscaper and hardscaper and like pick off where they left off, or are you guys an entirely another phone call and conversation for the customer?
That's funny you say that now like that. So a lot of our production guys would definitely disagree that we don't do hardscapes. Thinking about it now. So we don't do new hardscapes. So we don't put in patio. We don't like put in a paver patio or steps or anything like that. But
okay.
So a big part of our designs, and one of the biggest challenges with lighting is when somebody say they want some accent lighting on, like they got rock detail between their garage doors, and it's an existing, paver driveway, or it's existing concrete or existing asphalt driveway. And it's how do you get the lights in place without having any visible, cut lines in the concrete or cut lines in the asphalt.
Mm-hmm.
So we do a lot of, cutting, grinding, drilling, core drilling. So, like I said, a lot of mortar work, that kind of stuff. So it is a part of, designs, and it's a needed piece, because when you're going to do like a full transformation is like a couple things. Is like the first thing is at night, typically a property, what's the biggest focal point, the biggest element of the property is usually the home.
Sure.
And so you're going to want to fully illuminate the home. And a big piece of that is like the driveway, garage area, and then also second story lighting as well.
That's awesome. So do you guys just do hardscape lighting, transformations, or do you do on the house too, like in physical structures?
We incorporate, it just depends on where you're at for code and all that kind of stuff. But we incorporate one of the other things too. So you're talking about drive around at night. So one of my things, and a lot of people who are in lighting, their pet peeve is like, like the house lights are 3000K, or maybe they're like some old CFL lights or something like that. And then there's a nice new landscape lighting system, and they compete with each other. So they're not cohesive.
Sure.
So we always want to look at the home as a whole. So we'll specify and we'll help a client, get the right lights inside the house, outside the house, so everything is a cohesive look.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Cause like you said, there's like some old halogen bulb, pointed, under some big oak tree by the garage. And then there's, brand new LED lighting all around, and the 5K, you guys know what I'm talking about, the bright white versus like the dull yellow, it just clashes. It doesn't look very classy. You know what I mean? And,
right.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, going through my list of questions here, here's a question that I have, and I would imagine this would be a pickle for you guys. So I'm curious how you guys have solved this one, but how do you know where to put all the lights? I mean, you guys are working, let's say 8 to 5, putting the project together. How do you coordinate what the house is going to look like at night? Do you guys come back at dusk or 8 o'clock at night, or I don't know, do you guys work like noon to 8 or something so you can work at night a little bit, or how does that all work? I would imagine there's got to be a little like dialing it in of some of the lights, no?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I don't, with outdoor lighting. So the challenges, one of the challenges with outdoor lighting is, okay, if you're doing like say interior lighting, you have set numbers. So the room is a certain size. So it's much easier to do a lighting layout. Well, I shouldn't say that, but it's you have set parameters that you're working with, when you're doing interior lighting. So the transfer of a lighting design on paper to actually like the application of it is much closer than it is outside, because, you do a landscape plan and you have, let's say, 10 Japanese maples.
Yes.
You have no idea what those Japanese are going to look like. Japanese maples are going to look like until they're planted. And so one might need 2 lights, one might need 3 lights, one might need 1 light. It just depends, but you won't know it until they're picked out and they're planted.
Mm-hmm.
So we like as a whole, we don't feel like you can do proper lighting unless you work at night. So, fortunately for us, we have like a phenomenal design and sales team. So their job is to go out and meet with clients and do designs, and that big part of their thing is they're working, in the evenings 2 to 3 nights a week, to make sure that clients are happy, to make sure the design is really dialed in. And then that's kind of where you gain a lot of experience. If you're not out working at night, it's just, I don't see how you can be, that top level lighting design unless you're actually seeing your stuff at night. So yeah, we do nighttime demos. So somebody wants to see what things would look like. We're set up and we go out and we set up lights on their home so they can see the application, so they can see our design style. And then we do project walkthroughs. So similar to, if a landscaper completes a landscape, he probably goes out, meets with the client. Hey, this tree looks great. The yard looks good. We do that same thing. We're just doing it at night.
Nice. Okay, cool. That's a good answer. I that's what I was wondering. I'm like, how do you guys know what the lights look like and the final project looks like? But maybe like you said, the design team's got a great eye for it. So I'm sure they're 90% there the first time, especially with the install crew and all that fun stuff. Let me ask you this, like maybe dollars and cents. And you can share as much as you want, not as much as you want. Like what's an average like lighting? Let's say somebody's getting started with lighting, or they're looking to add that service to their landscaping, hardscaping business. What's some of the brands you guys work with? What's some of the price point of a typical job you guys work with? Can you share any numbers like that with us?
Yeah. So the brand we work with and recommend is Garden Light LED.
Okay.
And that's that manufacturer that the owners of that company have been just phenomenal to me and my family with teaching me things and mentorship, and just it's really, they're like family. So
yeah, shout out,
definitely Garden Light LED.
Shout out to those guys. Yeah.
So but for pricing, talk to a lot of different people, and it really ranges across the country. So it's hard to like say a price, and then I don't want somebody to hear and say, well, I can get that, I can't get that. Because if you're doing outdoor lighting in California or Oregon or, Seattle or, like you mentioned, kind of neighborhoods and multi-million-dollar homes, and when you look at like housing pricing of a metropolitan area like Seattle, look up the housing prices there, and you can just see kind of the different scale of things. But
Sure.
You know, if you're just gonna like ballpark it, you know, your pricing in good fixtures, you know, 200 to 300. If you get into more premium stuff, you're looking at like a 300 to 500 range. For like a lot of, when you get into more advanced designs, I think it's kind of a broad spectrum across, you know, all categories, probably like a 300 to 500 range. And then obviously you have some specialty brands out there that are, you know, like architectural is kind of grade is what they call them, whether they're better or not is up to the individual using them. But you know, some of those fixtures you can run, you know, $700, $800, $900 a fixture pretty easily.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. And then so then you're adding, you know, time, materials, labor, sales, consult, all that. You can spend 3, 5, 10 grand, I would imagine, on a good lighting, outdoor lighting system or something like that, right?
Yeah, and it's we kind of the total project wise, we're doing like for Seattle market, your probably entry level system is like 25 grand.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good for you guys. I'm telling you, that's like super cool. I'm also taking notes so I can tell Liz how much we got a budget for outdoor lighting. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but you know, again, it's all relative. And then, you know, the biggest factor there is like you were talking about. So somebody putting in lights in like a hardscape versus a softscape. Softscape's a different, you know, it's a different installation process, an easier installation process typically. So I just, you know, one of the things that is important, I think, for people when they price things out is like, what are the true costs of actually getting it in and doing it correctly, right? So if you do have to, say, cut some concrete, and then you have to, or say you have to cut, let's use a fireplace, you got to cut mortar so you hide the wire, and then you got to redo the mortar. And just, you know, when you're looking at pricing, just make sure you're factoring all your costs to actually get it in, because a lot of people will kind of get stuck in a price per light mindset only. And then, you know, you're doing a lot of extra stuff for certain lights that really kind of messes with your profit margins. Okay,
that makes sense. Well, and that's one thing. Yeah. That's one thing I get a lot of hardscapers on the show, and a lot of you guys listening and know what I'm going to say next. But they always like say, hey, you know, the guilty upsell is like they're just like, hey, I don't really do a lot of upselling, but one I'd really suggest is lighting. And because it's like you said, it's hard to add it after, right? We have a friend, Caleb, that joins us on the show a lot, and he's like, hey, like, I'm just going to install it. Just let me know what you think. We can always pull it. And whether it's $1,500 or $5,000, it's just like, he's always joking. It's like the only dirty upsell trick he does. He always jokes with his customers is adding the lighting. Yeah. And it's one of the, I don't know, maybe you can agree or disagree, but to me, it seems like one of the more easier upsells of a product. Like good quality lighting in a hardscape job, or at your house because it adds so much extra hours in the morning and hours in the evening. It sets the mood. It just helps with visibility. You got a pool or a hot tub. You don't want to be stumbling around the backyard. Can't see what's going on, right? So do you guys ever have that conversation with folks, like to upsell your lighting into their hardscaping jobs? Or like, it seems like most of the times people calling you and your guys' company, they want to just take things to the next level just in general. Is that, I guess, how it works?
Yeah. And you're touching on something that I think is something that I would, I guess, like to see more, because our biggest projects, our best projects are usually in collaboration with, you know, an architect, a home builder, a landscaper, a pool company. And what I think that's just how you deliver the best end product to clients. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, when you get into like high-end homes, and we're talking like custom homes, multi-million-dollar homes, is you have a general contractor who brings in all the best subs for those individual tasks, so they deliver the best end result to the client. And in the kind of landscape outdoor industry, I think a lot of times people try to be like the jack of all trades to where they could offer a better end product, a better project, a better service to their clients, to where if, let's say, a landscaper acted more as a general contractor, maybe they're good at a couple things, but they're going to bring in, you know, the expert woodworker to build the pergola. They're going to bring in, the expert stonemason to build the fireplace. They're going to bring in the expert lighting company to do the lighting. They're going to bring in, experts for these individuals, and then build a team and collaboration instead of like trying to do everything yourself. Like I said, you see that there's a lot of luxury home builders, like we're talking like really high end homes, to where their job they manage. They don't do any of the tasks because that's a full time job. It's a very important job. It's like it's a completely successful project. Their job is to manage, coordinate, build relationships, make sure things are clear and that the client gets what they want. And I'd like to see that more in the outdoor industry. Have landscapers and people working together and bringing in the experts, and then that's how, because that's I think how or the only way you're going to deliver that true like high end product to the end user.
I like that. I think there's a lot of value in that. I love the analogy you gave too of like building this outdoor $200,000 patio living space, whatever. And like you said, you got the pool guy, you got the pergola guy, the little bit of everything guy, and then find a good lighting guy. I mean, and there's a lot to learn. You could do lighting too, but at the same point, I always say like if you're a 10 at what you do and you find a bunch of other 10s at what they all do, and you build this winning team, everything's a 10. But if you're maybe a 2 in lighting, but the client wants it, it's okay to sub it out. It's okay to find somebody who knows what they're talking about and build those relationships. And by the way, the lighting guy might say, hey, like we're not designing the $150,000 patio. We do $25,000 of that $150,000 patio. And so don't be threatened by somebody in networking, because the lighting guy might get the hardscape call and say, yeah, like we'll do our $25,000 spot, but someone's got to put in the $200,000 patio otherwise, and
right.
So it's reciprocal. And that's awesome. I like that. You're going to be all fired up talking about making money. So, well, that's pretty much the list of questions that I got for you right now. I was just going to say, like, not to take your whole afternoon, but kind of open mic. Anything that you want to share with these guys while we got you about lighting or lessons learned, or growing a multi-million-dollar company over the years. It seems like you guys have a lot of great things going on, and so just kind of open mic. Anything you want to leave these guys while we got you?
Yeah, overall, I think we've all obviously learned 10, 15 years worth of lessons in business leadership, organization in the last 2 years. So one of the things that kind of piggyback on the last thing, and then share something that's really helped us. But the last thing is, I think you just have to pick what you're really good at, and stick with that, and create your own what you're known for, your own specialty, your own niche. And like if you're super good at water features, it doesn't mean that you might not have some side services, but make your brand about your water features. And that's, I think, how you differentiate yourself. And then create some fulfillment for yourself too, because the more you're doing the things that you're really good at and that you love to do, I think the more fulfillment you get out of your job and then ultimately out of life. And then second piece is just have an operating system, have some kind of structure. Now we've all learned the last 2 years, you got to be flexible, you got to be able to pivot and make changes. But if your company doesn't have a core process that it follows, that creates weekly rhythms, quarterly rhythms, annual rhythms, to where you're looking at your business, you're working on your business, then you just you'll go through 2-3 years and turn around and ask yourself kind of what was I trying to do, or what did I just accomplish? Right. So even if and it doesn't matter what size you are, because we're still, we're on the, overall scale of things, we're a really small company, but doesn't matter if you get 2 guys, 3 guys, 1 guy, like ingrain those rhythms at the beginning. And then stick to those rhythms, and always operate off of some kind of centralized operating system. And there's a lot out there, and that is kind of creates that long-term success, I believe.
I love it. Well, I think you had another wrap-up thought, but just to interject, I'd love to, if you're ever open to it, get you back on the show a couple weeks, couple months, whatever, and talk about growing the company. This is we're talking more about the product that you guys offer and the service you guys offer, but you guys got multiple branches, like you said, 16 plus people, been doing this for more than a decade. So there's some longevity there. And I just love to hear your startup story and your business story more so, even if we can get you back on the show, if you're open to it. But
yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, because I mean, there's like you said, I think you were just joking. We've all learned a PhD in a little bit of everything the last 2 years, and
yeah,
that's probably one of the most truest statements I've heard. But any which way, not to interject there, but what was the last takeaway? I think you had a personal note or personal piece of advice for everybody.
Oh no, that was it. Just like for the operating system.
Oh, okay.
Like stick to that operating system, and then
cool.
Like I said, just like spend your life doing things that you enjoy doing, that God made you to do.
Yeah, amen to that. And what is your company known for? We preach that all the time on the show. Like, maybe I'll do a podcast episode where we just like cold call 10 different people and say randomly, what are you known for, and see what they say. So that'd be a fun one.
Yeah. Side note, if you can work it into your business name, Oregon Outdoor Lighting. Then it helps you too. Real simple. What do you guys do? Well, it's in the name. So.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you said that. I'm like, Brian's Lawn Maintenance. People are like, do you do like?
Yeah, there you go.
Do you do landscaping? I'm like, no, it's lawn maintenance. And I'm like, I'll sling mulch, but I got 2-3 other buddies, Keith and Brett, that I refer on my landscape. My other friend Mike Bedell for the higher end stuff, And so it's like, it's my friend's Bedell Property Management. He takes 25 clients on, but he manages the property. It's like that's what he does. He manages your property. You know what I mean? So sometimes the answers are right in front of us, guys. So it's funny right there. And it seems to be universal across all the way to the West Coast, guys. You know what I mean? So that's funny right there. Hard lessons we're all learning on today's show. Well, Kyle, that's what I got, man. I don't want to take a bunch of your time on like I said, I don't want to be an expensive first date here, but we super appreciate you taking time to join the show. Any quick last minute things, but if not, we'll button it up right here, brother.
Yeah, no, it sounds good. I appreciate you having me on, and I'd love to come back on.
Awesome, brother. Well, I'm definitely going to keep in touch either which way, just if I have to, just to pick your brain when we build our dream home and dream patio, and maybe we'll get some pointers from the GOAT himself. How about that?
Yeah, I'd love to help you out.
Awesome, brother. Well, guys, we'll button up right here. Again, we're listening in to Kyle McKelvy with Oregon Outdoor Lighting and Washington Outdoor Lighting. So if you guys haven't, give him a follow. Really quick, Kyle, where can they find you on social media?
So everything runs through the company. So everything's just at Oregon Outdoor Lighting and at Washington Outdoor Lighting. Beautiful. All right, cool deal. We'll try to leave that here in the show notes for you guys. In all sincerity, give them a follow. It is one of the coolest Instagram pages you'll see. I think you guys get a lot of inspiration, even if you're not doing lighting or anything like that. Just if you want to learn branding and how to take good photos and good quality and have a great feed, we're always talking about how to grow social media and whatnot with our content. These are some of the best guys, in my opinion, to listen to and learn from. And I think, what was your marketing manager's name again? Jeff, is that right? Yep, Jeff. Yep. Yeah. Well, shout out to him for managing. You got a great hire there and a great teammate there, and he's pulling his weight, in my opinion. So good for him. So, yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. I love it. All right, guys. Well, not to beat a dead horse here. Again, we really appreciate Kyle joining us today, all the way from the West Coast, and give him a follow on social if you guys haven't. So that's what I got on today's episode, guys. I appreciate you guys listening in, and a little different episode today, talking about outdoor lighting, but I think it's a fun one, and one that I really enjoy personally as well. So we'll button up right here, guys. We'll kick it back over to Marty, Mr. Producer, to hear a little bit more from the show sponsors and announcements, and we look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
Ever wonder how to get the best looking lawn on the block? You know, the kind where all the neighbors drive by slowly and stare at your well manicured masterpiece thinking you must be a turf wizard? Yeah, we thought so. At Earthway Products, we have your back with all the right lawn and garden tools that allow you to dominate and win the prize of best looking lawn on the block. We have all types of spreaders that are professional grade, built for accuracy, efficiency, and toughness. Simply said, Earthway products are engineered to last, and we have over 50 patents to prove it. That's our way of saying you can have confidence that our products will get the job done and make your life easier. We also have a fertilizer program that will help you grow a lawn greenskeepers will envy. So whether you're a homeowner, lawn care operator, facilities manager, business owner, or golf course superintendent, Earthway is here to help you make a perfect first impression. Stop by earthway.com and experience the difference. That's earthway.com. Proudly American made in America's heartland, Bristol, Indiana.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.